With the Tampa Bay Lightning winning the Stanley Cup just last night, that means the 2020 season has come to an end, and now it's time to start looking ahead to the 2020-2021 NHL season for our Buffalo Sabres. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this Buffalo Sabres edition of Believers Talk, where we're going to get you up to date on what's been going on with Buffalo and their hockey team. Again, guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Joe. If you're new to this channel, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button for continual Buffalo sports news. Obviously, deep in Buffalo Bills news right now as the NFL season gets ready for week 4, but still a lot of Buffalo Sabres news has been happening while the Stanley Cup playoffs have been going on. Sorry for not keeping you up to date on that. Obviously, trying to keep everyone up to date on the Bills, and I got a little behind on the Sabres, but now it's time to get you up to date and talk about some trade rumors, right? Is Jack Eichel, star center for the Buffalo Sabres, going to be traded? We'll talk about that. But first, I want to talk about some things that have been going on already this offseason for the Buffalo Sabres. Obviously, we talked about the hiring of GM Kevyn Adams, and that was a big hire, new GM there in Buffalo. And we'll talk about why the Buffalo Sabres are taking trade calls for Jack Eichel. I feel like getting a new GM has a lot to do with that. And when you get a new GM and you have a star on your team, you are going to field those type of calls. However, there was a trade that Kevyn Adams made that we didn't address here on Believers Talk, so I wanted to make sure we address that. The Buffalo Sabres traded with the Minnesota Wild. The Minnesota Wild get Marcus Johansson from the Buffalo Sabres. Marcus Johansson, a winger that we've put at center at times, just wasn't getting the job done for the Sabres. I know a lot of Sabres fans who liked Marcus Johansson, a lot of Sabres fans didn't like Marcus Johansson. I was more on the didn't like Marcus Johansson. I wanted to see more out of him as he comes to the Buffalo Sabres. Just didn't see that. Wanted to see that progression. He's never made that step forward, right? And he wasn't helping our offensive woes on that second line. So see Marcus Johansson go, not a big deal. The Buffalo Sabres in return get Eric Staal. That's right, Eric Staal. And if you're a Sabres fan, that name still rings horrors in your ears and you don't like thinking about Eric Staal. But now we embrace him as one of our own. Eric Staal, now a Buffalo Sabre. Eric Staal still has 1 year left on his deal. Same with Marcus Johansson. Actually saves the Buffalo Sabres $1.25 million. Last season, Marcus Johansson had 47 points. He had 19 goals, 28 assists, which is better than what we got Marcus Johansson, who only had 9 goals last season and 21 assists for 30 total points. Obviously, last year, the season was cut short. Things happened due to the pandemic, but I am looking forward to the next season for the Buffalo Sabres, and hopefully trading for Eric Staal does help that second line center problem. We have had issues with that second line for a while. Who's going to back up Jack Eichel on that first line for that second line center position? Hopefully Eric Staal brings a little bit of at least a brief relief at that position. A good trade here, I believe, by Kevyn Adams, his first trade as GM. Now Eric Staal, of course, joins Kevyn Adams and Jeff Skinner, who were both on that 2006 Carolina Hurricanes team that won the Stanley Cup. So again, didn't talk about this trade when it happened. Buffalo Sabres channel that you can check out if you haven't already checked her out. Melody Martin does a great job keeping you up to date on Buffalo Sabres news. So make sure if you haven't checked her out, let her know Believers Talk sent you, but she does a great job. So now I want to get you guys up to date on the latest, right? Trade rumors. Is Jack Eichel going to be traded? And like I said earlier, I feel like this normally happens, right? A team with a superstar like a Jack Eichel gets a new GM, and all of a sudden he's fielding these type of phone calls. I think that's normal in any sport, let alone in the NHL. But I'm not sure we're going to see Jack Eichel be traded. Again, let me know in the comment section if you think there's a chance Jack Eichel is traded. However, when the Buffalo Press talked to Peter Fish, who is Jack Eichel's agent, he led us to believe that there's no truth to the rumors, right? He led us to believe Jack Eichel has not requested a trade. Although I did do an episode earlier this offseason I guess it was right before the end of the season for the Buffalo Sabres, about how Jack Eichel only has a few years left after, I think, 2023. There's a no trade clause in his contract. So if he does want traded, if the Sabres don't show improvement, which to me, this trade earlier made by Kevin Adams to get Eric Staal shows the Sabres trying to improve. Now we know about the Pagulas putting a salary cap on the Buffalo Sabres. And listen, I know a lot of people hate that move, but at the same time, due to the pandemic, the NHL salary cap is going to go down anyway. So they're just getting ahead of the announcement of what the salary cap is going to be. It does at times feel like the Pagulas care more about the Buffalo Bills than the Buffalo Sabres. So that's a little annoying as a Sabres fan. But at the same time, you know the cap is going to go down for the NHL. It's going to be interesting to see how the Buffalo Sabres, how Kevin Adams responds to that as the new GM. But again, these trade rumors between the Pagulas setting that price mark for the team. I mean, obviously, getting rid of Jack Eichel would open up a lot of cap space, but would open up a lot of cap space for not nearly the talent that Jack Eichel provides. So I definitely don't want to trade here. I know the New York Rangers have definitely been interested and been at least rumored to be calling Kevin Adams, calling the Buffalo Sabres to see if there's any interest there in a trade. I just don't know what all a team like the Rangers would have to give up. I feel like for the Buffalo Sabres to trade Jack Eichel, we'd have to get a haul in return. I mean, I think about Ottawa having 2 top 7 draft picks in this year's NHL draft, and I think that would be a team that might be able to put something together, put some scraps together, include those 2 first-round draft picks, and maybe make it an interesting case. But even then, I'm not sure they have enough firepower to get a trade done. The New York Rangers, same issue. I just don't, unless we have like 3 first-rounders for the next 3 years, I just don't see there being enough there. And, you know, first-round picks in hockey aren't like first-round picks in football. They don't have as much value. They don't carry as much weight. The Buffalo Sabres first-round draft pick from last season spent all his time this past season playing some minor league hockey. Again, that's fine, playing in Amherst, wherever you're playing, to get better acclimated to the NHL. But it's not like these draft picks are playing in the NHL right away. They're playing in some minor hockey and some AHL games, getting acclimated with the professional game a little bit more before they come up to the NHL level. Again, that's just how hockey does things there. Baseball does it that way. Basketball with the G League or whatever they're calling it these days, that's how it's done in those leagues. Not the same in the NFL. So those first round draft picks don't always carry as much weight as they do in, let's say, the NFL. Also, Jack Eichel is coming off his first 30-goal season, and I feel like Jack Eichel's stock is still rising. We haven't seen everything that Jack Eichel can do. We haven't seen how Jack Eichel can succeed on a winning team, and I hope that the Buffalo Sabres plan on winning again soon. But I think trading Jack Eichel would definitely put us back, not move us forward when it comes to winning hockey back in Buffalo. I feel like this Eric Staal trade also helps me believe that they're not going to trade Jack Eichel. If they're going to rebuild, why would you get a 35-year-old center who is towards the end of his career in a trade? Now, you do trade away Johansson, who's 29, so he's not exactly a spring chicken either, but it just makes you think, why would you make that move to better your team if you're going to do something then trade a star like Jack Eichel and completely start rebuilding? It just wouldn't make sense to me. But again, I'm not sure. I'm not Kevin Adams. I just think that a lot of these teams are calling Kevin Adams because he is a new GM, because the Pagulas put that cap limit on the Sabres this season. I think there's a lot going on, but we have to believe Peter Fish. We have to take him at his word. Again, Eichel's agent, who said Jack Eichel's ready to go back to Buffalo, ready to start training camp, ready to get ready for the 2020-2021 NHL season, whenever that is. Obviously, there's still going to be some scheduling concerns going into next season due to the pandemic, so we'll see what happens there. I'll keep you up to date as best I can, but that's going to be all we're going to talk about here. Again, I don't think Jack Eichel is going to be traded. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning on winning the Stanley Cup in 2020. Unfortunately, the Sabres didn't even come close yet again. 10-year playoff drought. Hoping that changes soon, guys. I look forward to that. Nothing like both the Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres playing well at the same time. Hopefully that happens soon. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Again, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think Jack Eichel is going to be traded? Subscribe to Billievers Talk if you haven't already subscribed. Like this video. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Sabres.